Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Rainbow Six Siege operator guide. In this video we will be discussing Echo, a defensive operator for the SATCTU. He can wield either the Supernova Shotgun or the MP5SD submachine gun as his primary weapon. Also, he can wield the P229 handgun or the Bearing 9 submachine gun as his secondary weapon. For a secondary gadget, he can choose between a deployable shield or barbed wire. First, let's talk about the MP5. The first thing you need to know is that it has an integrated suppressor, means the suppressor is built into the barrel already. So no matter what, your weapon will be suppressed. It does less average damage because of this, and it has a slower than average fire rate. And it has an average size magazine capacity of 30 rounds. Also, it has low recoil, so you should have no problem controlling it. When wielding the MP5, I recommend you stick to medium range and aim for that one lethal headshot since it does have low recoil, and it's not too hard to control. Now, let's discuss the Supernova Shotgun. It deals average damage and has an average magazine capacity of 7. I would also like to note that the Supernova is a pump-action shotgun, so it fires slowly. I recommend you use it to lock down and patrol the objective area. Now, let's talk about the secondary weapons. The P229 handgun does above average damage and has a magazine capacity of 12. It also has a low recoil, so I recommend you use it at longer distances and aim for the face. It also works really well at medium distances, so yeah. The Bearing 9, however, Bearing 9 submachine gun, is quite different. It does average damage for its class, but with a slightly slower fire rate. To balance the slower fire rate, it has a larger magazine capacity of 25 rounds. Also, it has a ton of recoil, so it can be hard to aim at some times. I recommend you use it in close quarters combat, and when you need something that fires fast that can mow down an enemy. Also, I found it quite useful for dispatching foes whenever one comes around a corner unexpectedly. Like if an enemy just whips around the corner, you pull that out quickly and just hold down the fire button and hope. Just pray. As for secondary gadgets, it depends on your personal playstyle. Use the deployable shield to provide you and your team with some extra cover. It also helps when you're using Echo's unique ability, wink wink. Use the barbed wire to create ambush spots in tight areas, or to slow the enemy down. Either way, it's really just up to your playstyle, so pick the one you had the most fun with. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, Echo's unique ability. Echo can deploy Yokai, a hovering drone that can shoot disorientating sonic bursts. There are quite a few things you'll want to know about this. First, it acts like a normal drone. Sorta. You still get a camera feed, and you can still move it around everything. You cannot spot enemies, however. You just can't. But when you press the jump button, the drone will fly up and stick to the ceiling, making it act like a new camera. Secondly, you can only shoot the sonic bursts when stuck to a ceiling. When you're roaming around on the ground, you cannot shoot your burst. You have to hit A, or the jump button, and stick to the top of the ceiling. And then you can fire. It's also very important to note that you need to pick a very good location for your drone. I suggest choke points directly near the objective or inside the objective area itself, or someplace where maybe your friends that are roaming can benefit from you being there. And thirdly, the drone gets only 3 shots before it has to recharge. It can only hold up to 3 shots. This means you have 3 chances to hit your enemy before a very, very long recharge time. Like seriously, it's long. But if you don't use your drone for a while and it recharges, it can recharge up to 3 shots. So that's kind of like your max. And finally, the sonic burst will only affect enemies if you hit them in the head. That's right, you gotta get headshots. I tested this out a little bit, and whenever I shot my friendo in the chest or legs, it didn't seem to disorientate him. He just told me that nothing was happening. But when I hit him in his face, also the reticule changed colors to be red instead of like the normal white. So that I feel like is a clear indication that you're supposed to aim for the head. But once you hit an enemy in the head, it will blur their screen, unfocus their weapon sights, and move their aim in a random direction. Basically, it's hard to see, aim, and move. If you hit an enemy with this, all they can really do is just randomly fire and hope. They can just spray and pray. It's so hard to aim for headshots like this, and it gives a massive advantage to the defenders who aren't affected by it. So just puts your enemy at a disadvantage, puts them off edge, and it makes for an easy kill. Also, Echo is the only defender that can deploy a drone, so that's pretty cool too. Now, let's start talking tactics. I suggest you find a nice safe spot to hide so you're not killed while controlling your drone. I also suggest that you station your drone where firefights are most likely to occur. It might be helpful to look up, just like Google like Rainbow Six Siege map, like firefight spots or something like that to find like kind of a general area where people will engage, and try to put your drone near that. Also, remember the drone can move, so once it's stationed, you can just press the jump button again and fall to the ground and change positions. Like, you're not locked into the first ceiling you stick to. You can move spots. I also just using voice communication. This will make setting up ambushes much easier. I also just suggest, just try to stage an ambush. Like, get some of your friends, say like, hey, I'm going here, you go here. If we time this right, it's good. And either way, whatever tactic you decide to go with, and you can make your own if you want to, it's going to depend on how good of a shot you are. If you miss those bursts, you've done nothing to help your team, and you're just been kind of sitting on a movable camera the entire time. So, but if you do land that headshot, your enemies can be killed so easily, making for a much easier victory. It's truly easier. Now, let's go to my favorite part of my guides, the combos and counters. Echo combos well with most operators, but he combos well with operators that can help him set up an ambush or other ambush-like operators. This means Capcom, Frost, and Smoke can combo great with Echo. Once that enemy is disorientated, they can either run into Capcom's booby traps, Frost's bear traps, or Smoke's gas canisters. Either way, these combos can decimate an attacking team, because if they run into a trap, that's an insta-kill. If they run into a bear trap, that's an insta-down. If they run into Smoke's gas, that can easily down them and probably kill them. But let's get to the counters. I can hear you're like, oh, who counters him? He sounds pretty good. Who counters him? I want to know. I want to kill this guy. Well, now, there's 3 counters to Echo. Twitch can use her shock drone to destroy Echo's hover drone. IQ can use her detector to find and shoot Echo's hover drone. And Thatcher's EMP grenades can destroy Echo's hover drone. So you want to pick, if you're attacking and you know you're going to be facing an Echo, which now, since he's the newest operator, you might want to use some of these. Just pick operators that can destroy electronics. So IQ, Twitch, and Thatcher. Those are the ones you want to go with, okay? But yeah, that's about it for the guide. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I want to hear your opinion of Echo. Do you think he's good? Do you love him? Do you hate him? Like, tell me what you think below. Also, I'm trying another new audio setup. So this one's working out better. Please let me know in the comments. Follow me on Twitter and all that stuff. And subscribe for more amazing Rainbow Six Siege content like this video you're watching. I'm the Battle Moon, and I will see you in the next siege.